Hello everyone, welcome to the new episode of Smart Agriculture Flutter application. Okay, so in this applications we are basically create one agriculture Flutter app using some AI ML and using some predefined APIs which we are going to fetch here. Okay, and basically here in this application we are integrating machine learning, artificial intelligence, and also we are going to see how we can fetch data from PostgreSQL, also how we can fetch data from different REST APIs. Okay, so till now I covered API creation for login registration. Okay, also using the Flutter application we fetch those API, we send data through API. Okay, we already completed register login, also detection part. This is detection fertilizer recommendation part. Also we completed the planning, crop library planning, task management, task create, everything we covered in this series. If you are not watched this video, go and watch this video first. Okay, because now we are going to create our third nav item, that is basically market price screen. Okay, here basically we are going to uh, fetch data from a REST API that is already available in uh, internet. Okay, that is free just for some time being. Okay, so here we are going to fetch some data. I will show you how we are going to fetch some data and how our screen will look like. Okay, so before that, as you know, we already achieved so much things in these applications. If you are lacking behind this application, then first go through all the videos that are available in my channel. Okay, now coming back to this tutorial, first of all, uh, we need to create one application screen like this. Okay, here if you see, uh, as you see here, we are going to get the Mandi price for selected commodity or selected crop. Okay, as you see here, we are getting price. Our commodity is wheat. Okay, so I select one state like Rajasthan, we can change it. Okay, also we can change the commodity also. Okay, then after selecting the Rajasthan, we fetch the district of the Rajasthan. Okay, after that, whenever one district is selected, then we need to select one market also for that district. Okay, after that we select one from date and to date. Then when we go, we fetch this data. This is an official website. Okay, this is an official website. They provide the APIs too. I will show you how you can get the API key. Okay, so after that we get this data. Okay, this is the mean price, maximum price, and model price. Okay, so it is also see in which date it is provided. Okay, this is the this data is in between these date trends. Now if you see in the graph section, we get three curves. One is for minimum, one is for model, and one is for maximum. Okay, so our screen will be look like this only. Okay, so here we will display the graph here, and we will display the list here, price list, and here will be one floating button. Whenever we clicked on it, we will select these datas. There will be some drop downs and date picker. Okay, here we need to fetch this data. After that we will put this in same drop down. Whenever we click on load price, then graph will be show here, and the list price list will be display here. Okay, so this way we are going to create our screen. Okay, now how you can get the API key for this for this data. Okay, so first of all you need to go to this link. Okay, I will give you the link of this website. After that you need to give your email ID and your organization name. You can give your own name also. Okay, after that request OTP. Your OTP will send to your email ID. As you see here, I get my OTP. After that OTP, after some times you will get the API key here like this. Okay, and you need to store this API key in your Flutter app. Now this is their APIs. Okay, I will also give you this link in the description. Go to this link. Here you need to authorize it. First of all, whenever you click on it, you need to add your value means you need to give your API key. After that, you can simply access all these APIs. Okay, so if you see here, we are using this is our base URL and this is our endpoint. Using this, and we need to add header accept application JSONs. Okay, also we need to send our API key as in our bearer token. Okay, this API key we need to send in the bearer token. Okay, I will show you in Postman also. After that, you will this method is get. After that, you will get the commodity list. Okay, I will show you now. If you see here, I just okay. As you see, this is the URL. This is the commodity. As you see here, this is the commodity, and here header. Here header, I simply pass the accept application JSON, and in here auth in bearer token I pass my API key. Okay, after that when I send it, we will get this commodity. Okay, with commodity ID and commodity name. Make sure this response, for this response we need to create the model in our Flutter application. Okay, every request, for every request, like for commodity, for geographics, for market, and for price, we need to we are going to use these 4 APIs. Okay, we are not going to use quantities. Okay, we are going to simply show display the price of every crops. Okay, so we are going to use these 4 APIs. For these 4 APIs we need to create the model in our applications, mobile applications. Now coming back to geography, now here we need to use the geography. If is method is same geography, here we need to pass, we simply need to pass the header only, or with our API key. Now here it will be geography. Geographies. Now if I hit send, if you see here, we get all the geographies, the state name and the district ID. For Jammu and Kashmir, there are different district. We are getting all this district here. As you see here, there are tons of data for every state. Every district is available here. Okay, now coming back to the market. Now for market, we need to send these things in our body. Okay, we need to send these things in our body. So simply, suppose if I copy it, now go to our body. Now go to our body here. Simply if I paste it, and here we need to send this market and also method to post. Okay, now if I send it, if you see, I get this market for this commodity, for this state, and for this district. We are getting 2 markets. If you see, there are 2 markets available. Okay, now if I coming back to the price, if you see here, price in body we need to send this data. Now if for prices we need to send couple of more data. Here we are going to sending only one market ID. We don't need to send multiple market ID. Okay, now if I send it, okay, sorry, here it will be prices. Okay, as you see, we are getting prices for this market, ID. From selecting from date and to date, we are getting this data. Okay, as you see, minimum price, maximum price, and model price. Okay, so now this is the simple APIs. Okay, simple responses. We will need to create all the models for all the responses for commodity, for geography, for market, and for prices. We are going to create all the models. Also, ultimately we are fetching prices, right? We are fetching prices. So for prices, we are going to create block. Okay, so where we are going to fetch the price. Also we are going to fetch the commodity graphics and the market also, because without getting the commodity graphics, geography, and markets, we are not getting price. Okay, so this is for the API part. Okay, now next will be, we are going to create the model, services, blocks, state management, and UI for our applications. Okay, application, first thing we need to do, we need to build our models. Okay, so we are not going I am not going to show you how to create the models. Okay, I will do the first forward uh, for creating the models. Okay, uh, I hope you know how to create the models, okay, based on this data. If you are not, then after the first forward this video, I will explain you how I create the models. Okay, now this some portions will be first forwarded. Okay, okay, I successfully created the models as you see here. I think this is simple. As you know, in commodity we are getting commodity ID and name. So here in the response means these things in the whole response. Okay, so this is for commodity, this is for geography, this is for market, and this is for the price. Okay, so our model part is completed. Now we need to create the we need to create our blocks. Okay, now our price event will be extended for equitable, because as you see we are comparing the values, not the reference. So for that we are going to use the equitables. Okay, so first of all we are going to create an abstract class so that we can extend it to our different states. Okay, okay, now in blocks, so block we are going to uh, load our commodities. Okay, we are going to load our geographics, we are going to load our market and prices. Okay, using the okay, so before load it, we need one API service, right? Because for loading data, first of all we need one service to call all these API services, right? After that only in our blog we are going to use it to manage the state. So before that, just go one thing, go to our services, and here create one easy net service. Okay, Okay, my services is complete. If you see, you get prices, get market, get geography, get commodity. Okay, and this is our base URL. If you already notice here, this is our base URL. And in header, as we mentioned, we need accept and authorization. In authorization, API key as bearer. Okay, you need to add your API key here. Okay, so now go back to our blog. So here, first of all, we need to do price block extend. Okay, my block is done. My already I did the state block and the API services. Now coming back to my main screen. So here in market screen, first of all we need to import our all commodity, geography, market, date time, because here we need drop downs, right? So drop downs, we need uh, prices will be by default it will prices. We need commodity 1 2 3 4 drop downs and 2 date picker, right? 4 drop downs and 2 date picker. Okay, now just do one thing, convert it to stateful. Now now initializing state, we need to call the load commodity and load geography using the block. Okay, so here context dot read, we need to read the price block, and from here we are going to add load commodities and load geographies. Okay, after that after the district select, we are going to load the market. By default we are not going to load the market here. Okay, so now coming back to our build section, here in body, uh, here in body we need now it is done. So if everything is, we selected everything, then we need to display the price, right? Where we need to pass the state dot prices, sorry, we need to display the state dot prices. Now create it. Also before display we need to first of all need to select, right? So for selecting, suppose for selecting we need one, as you already mentioned, we need one floating action button. Okay, so block block builder, everything will be here we need to open filter dialog. Okay, okay, now we need to create two widgets. One is for open filter dialog and one is to display the chat chart and the list. Okay, so for that, now if you see here for open filter dialog and the price display, first of all we are going to see the open filter dialog. Okay, so here a open filter dialog, as you see, we call one show dialog widgets. Inside that we create one dialog widgets, and after that we use the style stateful builder. Okay, so inside that we created one single cell scroll view. Okay, after that inside that we call one column. Okay, so inside that column there is one title, that is filter, as you see here. After that, there is some drop down. If you see, there is one drop down. For all the drop downs, there are 4 or 5 drop downs. Ultimately 4 drop downs. For all drop downs, I created one custom drop down widgets. Okay, so this is the drop down widgets. So here we basically set the value. Okay, after selected the drop down menu item, and in the menu item we simply display the drop down values or drop down items only. Okay, suppose for states names will be displayed here. Okay, after selecting one state name, that item will be set as value. Okay, so now go to our drop down. So here this is for the community drop down. If you see here, for community drop down, after that there is one state drop down, and make sure when you create the community drop down, make sure after selecting the community and geography, then only you are getting the market. Okay, market drop down. So when you whenever you are not selecting the community drop down, till then your market selected market will be null, or whenever you reset the market, then community will be changed. Okay, but by default it will be null, market will be null. Similarly for geography, if you see here, for geography, that means we are getting state IDs. Okay, first we need state IDs. Whenever without getting the state, district and market will be null, as I already mentioned. Then when we select the district, then market will be null. After selecting the district, state and commodity, then we are getting here, then we are triggering the market, then we are loading the market. If I as I already mentioned, in the init state we are not loading the market, right? But here we are loading the market after we selecting the community, state and district. If you see here we load the market. Okay, if you see here we load the market. Now this is for state, this is for district. Okay, after selecting the district, after loading the market, now we are going to add our market drop down. If you see here, now we are going to add our market drop down. We create inside block builder, we create our drop down. Okay, and we selecting the market from the drop down. Now there will be 2 date picker. One is from date. As I already mentioned, from date, this is the from date. From we show one date picker, and from there we selecting the from date. Now as you see here, we are here using the formatted date. Why we are using formatted date? Because our from date at to date in a different format. Whenever we are sending data from date or to date data, we need to send in a different format. Like in this format we need to send, right? So that's why we are formatting the date. If you see here, we format the date in this format. Okay, basically dd yy also, or yy dd, in this format we need to send. Okay, or you can display in this format also. Now this is for the to date, this is for the from date. Okay, now coming back to the load prices. When from let's do one thing, just run the code, then you will understand easily. Okay, this is for our dialog, right? So whenever we click on the floating button or filter floating button, then this dialog will occur, like this dialog will show. So now go to one Mandi. If you see, there is no data. I will show, as I already mentioned you, why we are getting no data, because if you see here, if the state prices is null, is empty, then we are getting no data, because we are not selecting anything right now. Now when we click on this floating button, it will call this dialog. Okay, if you see, this dialog is now showing, and this is the commodity and state is showing. Okay, commodity and state is showing. Okay, after selecting the commodity and suppose state, we select state, then it is display the district, because If it is not learn, then only the district is display. As you see here, then only district will display. So here suppose we select district, then market is display. If you see this, if district is not learned, then market will display. Okay, market is display. So suppose now here we select market, here selects from date. Okay, here select to date. Okay, now when I load prices, now when I click load prices, this is from date, this is for the to date. Okay, now when I select load prices, on press it will now load the prices using the selected commodity, selected state, selected district, market, from date and to date. Then it will read the load prices from our block. This is in our block. This is our event. This event is triggering our block, and from that we are getting then from that we are calling the API services. From here we are getting the data, and in this state we are simply update the UI using that state. Okay, so here load the data. As you see, if when you click here, it will load the data and it will display those data in here. When you click on it, it will display data, right? So open filter is done, load prices is done, build drop down is done. As you already see, this is our custom drop down, and format date is sense. Okay, now when we get the load prices, it will display the data in these widgets. If you see here, if prices is empty, it will suppose we select all the values, but whenever you select this value, it might not have any data. So in that case, it will display this. But if it has data, then inside the column there will be a container with one certain height, which is 280. Here we display our chart, and we are using the FL search for displaying the line chart. And inside line chart, as you see here, inside line chart there is data. Okay, there is data. So inside the data we are simply displaying the lines, x and y coordinates, and grids, everything. So our grid data will be we are showing the grid data. Okay, vertical lines are false. Okay, only horizontal lines are display. Okay, now for the title data, if you see title data, inside the title data we need to select bottom title, left, top, right. Okay, these fours we are going to display. Bottom means the x-axis. In the x-axis we are simply displaying our selected date range. If you see here, selected date range is display here in our bottom. Okay, now in our left side, in our y-axis left side, left hand side, we are displaying the amount, selected amount. Okay, not selected amount, getting amount, whatever amount we are getting, we are displaying our left side. In our top side we are not displaying anything. If you see, so title is false, you can display anything if you want. And in the right hand side, it is like a box, so in the right hand side we are not displaying anything. Now border data, there is some border, so I just false the border, because as I already mentioned, it is a box, right? This is kind of a box. Chart is display in a box, so there will be one border. If you want, you can give the border also, but for now I am displaying it as false. Now for the lines, because there is one box, right? There is one box. Inside this box we need to display some curve, or we need to display some lines here. Okay, and these lines will be minimum, maximum and model lines. Okay, for that, if you see line bar data, so inside that line bar data we are simply displaying 3 lines. If you see line chart data, so this is for the minimum price. Here we are actually mapping. Spots means it is collectively there are some spots which make one line. Okay, so it is showing it curve is true, so it is give some design as curve design, otherwise it is just a straight line. Okay, straight line. And there is some design, and dot data will be dotted, like in each point there will be a dot section. You will get to know. Okay, so this is for the minimum, this is for the maximum. Okay, and this is for the model. Okay, now to indicate all these lines we are adding legend here. outside the container, outside this container we are displaying the legends. Okay, that means red one is minimum, blue one is maximum, and the green one is model. Okay, for that also we are creating some custom legend item. Okay, I will display you. Okay, so below these legends we are simply displaying our list. Okay, using list view builder we simply displaying our list of the prices. That means minimum, maximum, and model prices, also date wise prices. Okay, for that there is one card. If you see here, this is the design for the card. Okay, this is the design for the card, and inside the card we give some padding, and inside padding we are creating one column where there is the first row where we are simply displaying the date and the model price. Okay, if you see here, date and model price. Okay, now it will display the minimum, maximum, model row wise data. It will display like this row, like this. It will display in a row. This is the price info for the minimum, for the maximum, and for the model. For that also we are using some custom design. If you see outside the list view, or outside this build price display. Okay, this is for the legend. If you see here, we created some legend, right? This is for the custom design for the legend. Okay, inside the container we give the color of the lines and text, min, max, or model. Okay, also for the price info, similarly for the price info there is one icon, high or low, and this is for the text. Okay, how much price is for the minimum price, maximum price is here, and this is the label. That means minimum, maximum, or model. Okay, so this is our screen. If I load the price, if you see, this is the lines, this is the legends. Okay, x-axis and y-axis, and this is the list of the data. If you see, date, model price, and this is the row where inside column we display icon, text, and label. Okay, so that's it for the market screen. Okay, market screen means Mandi screen, where I display the price of every crops based on the selected rate range for the selected commodity, state, and district, and market. Okay, you can change the market and also check. Suppose in Kathai Thal, if you check, there is different curve. Okay, or there is different data. So yeah, that's it for this now. And the next section, in the next video, we are going to check for the weather, where we are going to display the current weather of current location with some forecast for the 7 or 14 days for forecast details. Okay, thank you for now. If you're not watching the previous video of this playlist, you can go and watch the previous video, because we covered lots of things in the previous videos. Okay, thank you.